Hello, kings and queens. How you doing today? As you see the topic today, I'm talking about familiar spirits. Yes, a lot of people want to talk about familiar spirits. In my comments, a lot of people have questions, so I'm here today to speak on familiar spirits. Although you don't have a lot of pastors or evangelists speaking on this, I love speaking on spirits, and I want to give some answers to people uh, regarding the familiar spirits. First, what is a familiar spirit? And I have that definition. A familiar spirit is a personal demon, a personal totem, it's a spirit companion. Even though it may have an independent life of its own, it remains closely linked to an individual, a human being. It's a demonic spirit that lives in the dark realm. Okay, and I have more reading on it in my computer. It speaks on familiar spirits and what are they. The term familiar spirits is used 9 times in the King James Version of the New Testament in reference to demons. The idea literally refers to demons that they are close or familiar to a person, such as a medium or sorcerer. The first mention of the phrase is found in Leviticus 19 and 31. And it reads, "Regard not to them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God." God's people were not to consult with demons, consult with mediums or fortune tellers that talk to demons. And I also have Leviticus 20 and 6 notes God's opposition to involvement with people who communicate with evil or familiar spirits. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards, to go a whoring after them, I will even set my face against the soul that will cut them off from among his people. That's what the Lord is saying. He will cut them off from among the people, whoever goes a whoring and going toward wizards uh, regarding spirits that read spirits. And I have in Deuteronomy 18, chapter 18, 10 through 11. Deuteronomy 18, 10 through 11 offers the next mention of familiar spirits, stating, "There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or witch, or charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer." Again, the term is used in connection with the fortune teller, a practice forbidden from God's people under the law of Moses. See, that's forbidding against God's people, the Most High people. No one should be up under a fortune teller or anybody who palm readers. And I have more coming from Samuel, 1 Samuel 28 and 3. In 1 Samuel 28 and 3 and 9, we find King Saul had removed witches, wizards, and mediums from Israel. Verse 3 states, "And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Yet, in desperation, Saul sought after a medium so he could summon the spirit of Samuel for help during a difficult time. The result was a judgment that soon took the life of Saul and his son." See, Saul wanted answers after Samuel died, and he was asking the Lord. He was questioning the Lord, and the Lord had not came to him and answered him yet. So he got desperate, and he went to a medium, and he called up on Saul. Went to the medium to call back Samuel. He wanted to talk to Samuel, but Samuel was there, so he went to a medium, And then Miriam brought Samuel's soul, back around, and he got answers from Samuel's spirit, I'm sorry. So Saul went against God's commandments. And so later he was judged, and soon it took his life, and it took Saul's life. God took Saul's life and his son's life. You don't go after a medium to look up the dead and get answers. So Saul and his son lost his life because of that. In 2 Kings 21 through 6, King Manasseh's reign was described as evil, and he made his son pass through the fire and observe times, and used enchantments, and dealt with familiar spirits and wizards. He wrought much wickedness in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. See, he provoked the Lord to anger. Consulting evil spirits was listed alongside witchcraft and child sacrifice. That's what he did during King Josiah's reign. His reforms included removing those who consulted familiar spirits. And that's coming from 2 Kings 23 and 24. You all can write these scriptures down and go back and read them regarding familiar spirits. The final two times familiar spirits are mentioned in the King James Version are found in Isaiah. Isaiah 8 and 19 says, "When they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God, for the living to the dead." God called his people to consult him, not other spirits. You heard that? God, the Most High God, called his people to consult him, not other spirits. Isaiah 19 and 3 adds, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof. I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." God foretold of judgment upon those who consulted evil spirits. Familiar spirits are evil spirits or demons that have no place in the life of a Christian. We are to live by God's Spirit and stand against the spiritual forces of evil as we seek to live for the Lord. That's coming from Ephesians 6 and 12. So this is telling us about familiar spirits. We are not to go to a medium or sorcerer, palm reader, or fortune teller to seek after the dead. You know, like some people go to those people to look for their dead, to speak to their dead husband, dead grandmother, dead grandfather, aunt, uncle, mother, and father, whoever it may be. That is against the Most High God. So if any of you all out there going to mediums, and those are people, and fortune tellers and palm readers, those are people who speaks to the dead, the familiar spirits, and to your dead loved ones. They're dealing with demonic spirits, and those spirits will later take your life, and God will allow that to take your life because you're dealing with evil spirits, and also it brings evil spirits in your home and around you. So the spirit that you're wanting that spirit is up with God. The real spirit of your loved ones, your dead mother, father, or uncle, and grandmother, grandfather, that is with the Most High God. The fortune tellers and the mediums and chamberers, they are dealing with demonic spirits. And 9 times out of 10, those are the demonic spirits. If your grandparents or mother, father hadn't been delivered through someone who would deliver the demons out of you, those are demonic spirits that was familiar and was with your dead mother, grandfather, and granddaddy, whoever it may be that's in your family that you lost. That's the only thing they can deal with. These mediums, they can't give it the real spirit of your loved one. That spirit is with the Most High God. So the Most High God deals with that main spirit. The spirit that the mediums, you all are going, if you are, hope you're not, if you're going to talk to your dead loved ones or want to know what they're doing and have questions, you go to a medium or a palm reader and all that. They're dealing with demonic spirits. They're not going to tell you they're dealing with the familiar spirits, and they're called familiar spirits, the demonic spirits. So that's what they're doing. So um, we have to watch what we're doing, and the Bible speaks of it. Uh, it speaks here how Saul and his sons lost their lives because Saul wanted to speak to the dead spirit of Samuel. So, but Samuel was dead. So Saul went to a medium and spoke to Saul dead, the demonic spirit of Saul. That was against the Most High God. You're not supposed to call up a spirit through a medium. So Saul and his son, it says here, uh, lost their lives because that's against the Most High God. The spirit, is left alone. You're not supposed to deal with spirits like that. So I hope this was, I helped some people who was wanting to know about spirits. I will be back later to speak on other spirits, and I will be back to speak on, I have other questions more people want to know, to speak on the territorial spirits, and the fallen, the demonic spirits, and the principalities and powers. I'll be back later with talking regarding that. So I hope this helped and help you all and open some of your eyes and some understanding about familiar spirits. Again, I will be back, and thank you for tapping on the video. I will be back with more. I love you all. I'll be praying for you all. And as I always say, stay blessed. See you soon. Bye.